EU has opened the call and said, you know, we're open to projects that will help with preparedness and prevention. So this project was formed together with Resilience Advisories Network and Delft University of Technology. In addition, we also work closely with local partners in this project, the Institute for Geological Sciences in Kiev and the Agency for Regional Development in Transkarpathia. And then there was specific expertise from the main School of Fire Service in Poland. So those 5 partners, each bringing in their own expertise, knowledge and capacities into this project, formed the project consortium. So the goal of the project is much more establishing a path to disaster risk reduction. Not so much the implementation of it, not even the approach itself, but rather an approach that would help the community to take steps towards this disaster risk reduction. So really helping the community take the ownership, start the discussions based on scientific data, based on tools, based on platforms that the project provided.
The risk of Solotvyno is that they have big mines in a salt dome not far under the surface of the earth, and those salt mines have been flooded, fresh water coming in, fresh water dissolves salt, so the integrity of the mines are degraded and some of them are collapsing. So what you see there are huge sinkholes. People are very scared around it. So it's an emergency situation. And together, there's also an environmental problem because the Tisa River is next to those salt mines, really literally next to the salt mines. And if they get polluted, if the Tisa River gets polluted by salt, it will pollute the whole Danube river basin.
Initially, our role was to gather and prepare and put in one database all data that we can get from our previous research that have been done. The whole project is about Transkarpathia, and we gather data about hazards like karst, landslides, mud flow. We made maps of manifestation of these hazards. On these maps, put in objects of critical infrastructure, objects of residential houses. We can predict awareness campaign. We can predict maybe some risks.
I think that the most important lesson which you can take from this project is that this is all about people and this is all about community. During our workshop in Uzhgorod, we were very surprised that one of the decision makers shared with us his perspective that the thing what we are doing and what we are sharing with them is very important, and he was very sorry that there is still not so many people who really understand that what we are doing here is very important for future of this region.
Every time when the flood's coming, it is like a first time. People are not ready to see it. So one of the main issues or aims of the project was to prepare the people, to make them more able to be ready to the different kind of hazards and natural disasters. The survey was made by the Abion Khan from the Delft Technical University, and she really did a great job because she built up this survey. She found the question for it, and also she said cooperation with the local teachers and schools with our help. The community seems to be more informed, and the survey got them to the thinking, bring them to the thoughts about the situation they are living in.
You already saw in the project that a lot of schools use this project as an opportunity to, give classes about this, hold seminars, do events about disaster risk reduction and disaster response. All these stakeholders are now engaging with each other, they're talking with each other, so it's up to them now to take that momentum forward and start developing plans. So I wouldn't say that this project has really given something to the community as much as it has motivated them and put things into motion that they can now move forward with. One of the things we've done in this project is the app that translates the risks into a personalized manner that will speak to an individual at a specific location, but also integrated into policy advice for decision makers and policy makers. So I think that capability to transform information into something that supports people and organizations is a key takeaway from this project.
We are at the point where we start to understand the negative effects for the environment, not the ecology in general, but for this particular piece of land which just disappears next to your house or next to your school, we are losing the land. And this is just a moment in the society when it is slowly starts to get in one head after another. So this is just spreading the understanding that this environment is a bit different. I may hope about, very theoretical things, but what practically happens in, let's say, I hope big enough percentage of the children, is that they are more real and more connected to the real environment behind the window. So that they are more aware of the surroundings, because they understand that this might change one day. Usually, if you understand that something will disappear, you pay more attention to it. I think the more actions need to be done in the community, not with one-way information flow, informing them about some particular things, but to create some bilateral flow. This is just the first step in the long process, and it was clearly put by the expert mission in 2016. We have 10 groups of recommendations, and together with all the other 2 projects, we are now maybe 2.5 or 3 first, and 7 is still ahead. And this is not possible to do without the participation and involving the resources, including the financial resources, by all the other stakeholders. And you cannot do that without waking them up. So we were waking them up.
Я дізнався про те, що в Солотвині є проблеми не тільки з карстовими утвореннями, з тим, що будинки, побудови, шахти падали під землю, а з тим, що сіль розмивається водою, і ця вода попадає в річку Тиса. І після попадання в річку Тиса вода стає чи гіршою для використання, чи взагалі непригодною. І тому це дуже важливо не тільки з економічної точки зору, це, наприклад, важливо з екологічної точки зору.
Я отримала надію, що в Солотвині відновлять якісь ресурси, ями, усунуть деякі проблеми, тому що мої батьки працюють за кордоном, і тому вони виїхали, тому що тут немає праці, якоїсь роботи, і може, якщо в Солотвині щось зміниться, вони вернуться.
I think this is one of the credits for the project. It spent 2 years describing the problems, discussing the problems with many stakeholders, and landing in a position with how do you bring all these stories together and produce a single way forward. Yesterday, I think, for the first time, we had every level of government and all of the local agencies in one room together. I hope we've taken a small step to help them create that central agency that can do this for them. It's not offering solutions today, it's just offering a way of creating solutions. And if ImProDiRet as a project has achieved that, that's quite a remarkable thing.
The best way to deal with your own safety in the world is to be involved in a community. the community can do so much things for you in safety. For safety and disaster preparedness, knowing in what kind of environment you are, be aware of where you are and try to engage with people around you is enormous value for your own safety.